Hello to the world out there. If you managed to come across this video, my name's Lewis. I'm 31. I'm single. I live alone. I work a corporate 9 to 5. I'm training for my first ever amateur boxing fight, which is in about 5 weeks. And I'm making this video for a couple of reasons. One, to try and get out of this negative overthinking loop that I've often gotten into over the years and found myself slipping back into a little bit. And two, because I've been putting out a lot of content, especially on YouTube, following my boxing content and a lot of other things just in general in life over the years. And I realised that I never really sat down and said a little bit about myself or gave something that someone watching the video might relate to. So this is me coming out of that overthinking loop and just turning the camera on and just sitting down to have a genuine conversation with yourself and with myself a little bit, because I find this quite therapeutic for someone that's quite an active thinker, someone who has quite a consistent and intense internal monologue. I find it quite therapeutic to just get things out there, and if I can put it out into the world and bare myself a little bit, then who knows who it might help, or in a selfish way it might even help me. So this video is not a video that's designed to be the perfect YouTube video. There's not going to be loads of cuts in between the pauses when I speak. If I make a mistake, I'm going to continue, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Nothing is prepared or planned up until this point, but I hope that it can give some value and help without that being the intention, or without that being scripted or planned. One of my main sort of problems recently, which has been consistent over the years, is just my own mind. And that's not in a way of saying I'm in a depressed state or I have bad mental health or anything like that, because in general I'm pretty happy and content, and I get up and train every day and I go to work and I have connections. Like, when I say connections, I don't mean like networking connections. I mean like I have family, I have friends, etc. But what I mean by my own thoughts being the main battle is that being ambitious and having things you want to achieve and being a creative person, it comes with its cons, in the sense that you're often battling almost an identity crisis. Not a crisis, but a battle of identities. You're going to work in the morning, you're spending the day living that life, and outside of that, you're sitting there thinking about what else the world means to you, what else you want from the world, what else is to it. And when you're a very intense and active thinker, that's heightened even more. So like I said, I've been focusing a lot on the content recently, and I mentioned the boxing fight that's coming up. That was a bit of a pivot for me. I spent most of my 20s chasing music, which was a big passion of mine, and still is. It just happens to not be the main vehicle at the moment. It's still there, it's still ingrained within my soul, and I still put time towards it when I can. But something I've done of recent is pivot slightly, and maybe it's a strategic thing, maybe it's a bit of burnout, maybe it's developing as a person, and we're all going to go through those moments. I think it's important not to get caught up too much on identity, which was something I was guilty of in the past, making things my whole identity, and then you deal with the lows a lot harder when things may not work out. So as I've grown and matured, I've understood that we can have many facets to us as individuals, and we can have multiple. But again, that comes with its cons. And I think that's one of the main issues I've been dealing with recently, is this scattered identity. I can't let the previous one go, because it's like a soul thing. It's ingrained in your soul. It's something that's never going to leave you. But at the same time, I've been pivoting to other areas just naturally. So it's, how do you get that tunnel vision on the new thing you're trying to work on, whilst you still have that identity from previous things lingering in the background? So that can be tough, and it's important to keep your mind in check and to try and be mindful and to keep a hold on these things. And that could relate to anyone watching this video. It could be nothing to do with any of the things I've mentioned or any of my interests, but you could relate to how that feels. Maybe you've taken a pivot in your life, you've started again, you've tried something new, but you're struggling with the alignment. And I think alignment is the key to what I'm missing at the moment. I can't fully leave the old thing behind, and I don't feel fully aligned with the new thing. And that's creating inaction, and the inaction is creating guilt. And in turn, it's just a bit of a vicious cycle. And I've had moments of consistency. I've had good results with things. If we're going to talk numbers and stuff like that, views. And often they've come when I've been the most consistent and feeding the algorithm, as they say. But I haven't felt alignment. And for someone who's quite thinks deeply about things, it becomes difficult, because all the advice is action brings clarity, not thinking. And I agree. I completely agree. I've had times where just doing the action and doing the things have made me feel better and made me build momentum and be more consistent. But it is very difficult to do that when you don't feel aligned, or you don't feel like you have an identity in what you're doing, or that there's substance to it. Like, I'd find myself often posting videos of training footage and a bit of music behind it, and I think, cool, I posted today, but like, where's the substance to it? Where's the thought behind it? And to be honest, what I came to realise, or I've just come to realise as I'm saying this, is I'm hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself, because I'm forgetting that 80% of my week I'm working a corporate job, a stressful one as well. So to place that sort of expectation on myself that my stuff is going to be have as much substance and be as well edited and post every day or 3 times a day, it's a bit harsh on myself. And again, that brings me to sitting down again and thinking about, how can I be more, not strategic, how can I work smarter, not harder? How can I give my best in something with the time I've got? And I think it's that scattered energy which is not beneficial. And that ties back again about having the old identity of something I did previously and something I'm doing now, working, training, boxing. It's a lot of scattered energy, and for someone who needs a focus and a vision and a purpose to work towards, that's not ideal. So part of this video was just getting over that overthinking loop, just turning the camera on and just putting something out into the universe and just breaking down that all a little bit, and understanding that expression is an art in any form, whether it's music, whether it's turning on the camera and talking to someone, whether it's painting, whether it's drawing, whether it's sport. Expression is art in any form, and you don't have to tie yourself to one identity and feel that you need to express only through that. You can express yourself in so many ways, and we're blessed to be able to do that. In the generation that we're in, we've got so many tools available to us. We can be ourselves and express ourselves and talk to hundreds, thousands, millions of people through the lens of a camera or through the lens of our art. So it's not all negative, and I don't want this video to have a negative feel to it, because it's certainly not a negative video. If anything, it's a positive video to see in real time how you can overcome some tricks that your mind might play on you, because it is all mind tricks. Pretty much everything I've said in this video so far is all just tricks of the mind. You know, our thoughts are not us, and that's something I've kind of learned over time, and as I've matured and grown and researched into things, like, just sit with your thoughts and observe them sometimes and tell yourself, this is just a thought, this is not me, this is not my identity, this is just a thought. Because we have thousands of thoughts a day, and you can't be trying to assess and analyze them all, and what should I do, what should I do next? It's not the way to do it. Our thoughts are not us. They're fleeting, and you know, there's so much stimulation these days that it's easy for the mind to become overrun or cursed by all these external influences. Something I did just now actually was I just laid in silence for an hour and a half, almost like a sort of meditation, and it was needed at that time because I just felt overstimulated, overexposed to everything online, and it felt good. And at the end of it, it sparked me to make this video. So I don't want to give some outcome or takeaway from this. I don't want to ask you to subscribe to my platform. You can if you want, if you felt this video was helpful or relatable or anything like that, or you want to see how it progresses with the things I mentioned. But one thing I will say is, try not to overthink, try not to get deep in your thoughts. Try to just enjoy life and flow through fluidly. Enjoy the things you enjoy. If you're lucky enough to just have a single vision and you know it's 100% what you want and what you want to do, then just go for it, hell for leather. Go for it, hell for leather. Become obsessed with it and just go for it. Because you're in a very lucky place. Like I said earlier, that scattered energy is not ideal because your identity is being dragged between 2 or 3 things. You're not fully sure what to commit to. So if you're lucky enough to have one thing, go for it, hell for leather. If you're unlucky enough where you haven't even got one thing, as in you haven't got the scattered energy of a few things, you haven't got the one thing, you've actually got none, you go into work and you feel like you want more but you don't know what to do with your life, then my advice is try things, get out into the world, try things, have experiences, meet people, sit in stillness and stop being overstimulated by your phone 24/7. It's crazy how many thoughts and things can come to you, and ideas and original thoughts, when you just sit in silence for an hour. How many of us watching this or can say that they've sat in silence for an hour in their lifetime? Like, I mean, eyes closed, no phone, no telly, nothing. And I think that's why there's a lot of less original ideas and a lot of less art these days, because back then people had time, they had boredom, they had to figure themselves out and try art and try things and express. So I might have gone off on a bit of a tangent there, but I hope it was useful. I'm going to be trying to stay consistent with these videos every day. No script, no plan, just talking to you and simplifying things. I'm sat on my bedroom floor right now and I was thinking, should I sit at my desk? And I thought, no, change the environment, change the scenery, just break it down to simplistics. So there's no excuse for me to not post. I can literally press that button, come here and talk to you. about anything and hopefully progress the channel so that it's useful or even relatable, or even if it just helps me. So, hope you're blessed. I hope you're enjoying this crazy thing we call life. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you come back for the next one. Subscribe. Stay healthy. Train. Read. I haven't got all the answers, but I know what I've learned in my short time on this earth. And some of the best things you can do are some of the things that have been around forever. So, blessings on your journey. If you made it all the way through to this part of the video, thank you. And hopefully see you on the next one. Peace and love.